Hi Twin Flames, welcome to my channel, Queen of Justice XOXO. My name is Michelle, and I want to do an extensive review of Oracle and Tarot cards for you. I am a Twin Flame as well, but you don't have to be a Twin Flame to benefit from my reviews. It's just more geared towards Twin Flames to help them along their journey. I am so grateful and love my Oracle and Tarot decks. I feel they can be a very helpful and a powerful tool for you to use on your path. They can bring you messages from spirit, personal guidance to bring you relief, joy, hope, as well as the pain that needs healing, and to hopefully bring you some peace while figuring this all out. I wanted to share my cards with you so you can get an in-depth review of each deck before you purchase it. Because just seeing a couple of the pictures of the cards really doesn't tell the whole story. There are so many more elements involved than just the pictures. I don't want you to waste your money on decks that don't resonate with you and get upset because the deck just didn't meet your expectations once you received them. I have done this plenty of times, and trust me, I know how exciting it is waiting for them to arrive, and it sucks when they are disappointing, for whatever reason. So hopefully my loss can be your gain, and my videos can help you find the right one for you, as there are enough things to deal with on this journey. So let's get started. In this video review, we are going to take a look at the Angels of Atlantis Oracle cards by Stuart Pearce. Let's start with the box. The box is very important to me because I have several decks that the boxes are very difficult. They're hard to manage. They're hard to get the cards out. They're hard to get the cards in. They're hard to open. Now, this is a box that is a little snug, kind of a tight fit. It's gotten better because I stretch it out. However, when it is empty, it is hard to open this box. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you. There, I got it. So it is a little snug, but it's a good sized box. Not too bad. Just, like I said, stretch it out a little bit and it would help it. When I first got it, it was almost impossible to get it open. Now let's take a look at the guidebook. The guidebook is, a decent size. It's not too big. I do like, let's see if I can show you, if you can see the words. I do like that the descriptions, are not very lengthy. The only issue I do have with the guidebook is that it is hard to find the cards sometimes because these cards are all broken down into each archangel. I absolutely love that about this deck of cards, is that it's a way to really get to know the archangels, their names, and what they can give you guidance or help you heal, or just what they're here to help you with. So I really do like that for Twin Flames, is that you really get to know the archangels with this deck. However, as an example, this card has Uriel, so you would have to find that archangel in the book, which thankfully they are in alphabetical order, so obviously Uriel is at the end. So we go back here, you find Uriel, there she is. So she handles the divine companion and items such as that. So then it is broken down into the different cards that are under the Uriel section. So overall, the guidebook is pretty decent. Like I said, it's a quick read, pretty simple. While I have the guidebook out, I will go back to that card of trust, which, obviously, that's kind of a simple meaning. I do like that these cards have simple meanings. They're kind of quick references. However, this guidebook does kind of go in a little bit more in depth of, some guidance on such as trust. So let's take a look at trust. I'll just read a couple sentences just so you can kind of see how the book reads. It's not lengthy, it's not wordy. It's, just kind of quick and simple. So trust states, disappointment often takes us to a state in life where the erosion of our faith in self, others, or the source occurs. Uriel is gently reminding you to practice belief, faith, and trust, for there are three commitments of love. Not sure I said that word right, but usually, the reading in the guidebook is pretty simple, but every once in a while there's a word that, I can't figure out, but for the most part, it's a pretty good guidebook. All right, so let's move back. Let's move to the best part. Take two. All right, so I saved the best for last, the cards. So let me start with the back, because the back is very important to me, because when you're shuffling, that's what you see. I think that these are very angelic, obviously, but you know, for the most part, I believe they are very pretty. The finish is glossy. They are very glossy, so the one issue that I do have is that they can be a little bit slippery. They do tend to slide a lot when you are shuffling, so I do have to shuffle a little bit different than a lot of the cards I use because of the glossy matte, or the glossy finish, I'm sorry. However, the other side of the deck, I do love the pictures. They are just very stunning, and I love the black border. It really just sets the picture out and just is just a stunning image, you know, while you're reading them. And I just feel it's just a very, I don't know, loving and comfortable feeling when you're reading them. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the archangels, but you know, it's just such a great feeling, openness, I don't know, when you're viewing the cards. The other thing I do love about these cards is that there's such a simple meaning to them. It kind of tells you, again, like this, you know, Uriel and trust, or this Uriel and friendship. Majority of them are simple, understanding words. There are, I'm trying to look for one that, like, okay, here's a great one. Sandafon. And it says planetary cycles. Okay, well, I mean, you kind of can get what that means, but obviously you're going to need the guidebook to go into depth of what that means for you, and maybe what you need to know, what the archangel wants you to know, or what maybe you need to work on. So for the most part, like I said, you know, Raziel, faith. So overall, the cards are, I believe, very stunning and great for twin flames. So let's gather these up, and I will show you the shuffling. The shuffling is a little different because the cardstock is pretty thin, very thin. So they are flexible, but they're also long. So that kind of tends to give a little bit of troubles with the different shuffling. So let's try vertical shuffling first. It's pretty easy, which I love shuffling that way. Horizontally, it's pretty easy, but they are really thin. So the shuffling is easy, but sometimes a little bit too flexible. But for the most part, at least they're doable. And then the issue I have is because of the length, and I have pretty big size hands, is it is a hard hold. And I do notice there's a tendency to have, you know, more than one card flip out because of that. So sometimes when my hand gets tired from shuffling in the vertical, I shuffle horizontally. Let me turn these over so you can actually see the pictures while I'm shuffling. So sometimes I have to shuffle this way, and I have to do it a little bit slower so that I can make sure that I'm only getting one card out at a time. And I am holding on pretty tight so that I'm not having a lot of cards flipping out here, but love that. We have Michael Transmutation. So let me show you some of the cards individually so you can kind of get a closer look at the cards. Raziel, Intuition. Love this one. Uriel, Abundance. Zachiel, Security. Raziel, Faith. Jophiel, Forgiveness. Raphael again, was that Cleansing? Sorry, I couldn't see that word there. I believe this is Hanuel. I'm not sure how to pronounce this one's name. I don't really deal with him that often, so I'm not really sure. But this one is for Courage. And it's kind of funny because I love this deck of cards and I use it often, but I don't seem to get him very often. This one is Shamuel, Serenity. Here's the Sandafon, Planetary Cycles. I do get this one several times, so it is kind of funny that I get it here. Uriel, Friendship. Raziel, Dreams. Let's do one more. Uriel, Freedom. So overall, I think this is an amazing deck for Twin Flames. I think it is so powerful and helpful to give you guidance as to what archangels you should be working with. It's such an important thing on this journey. So important to call in your archangels and ask for their help. And this is such a great way for them to tell you maybe which archangel, because there's several out there, and you know, they're not all so common as, you know, Michael and Metatron as we're used to. I think they're great imagery cards and just great guidance on what you may need to be work on or asked to be healed. So overall, I would rate this deck a 4 out of 4 suits, and it is definitely a Twin Flame must. You know, I actually purchased this deck because I am really connected to Atlantis, so I thought it was going to be way more about Atlantis, but it actually was really about the archangels, and I ended up loving it even more than I thought I would. So I believe this is a great deck for Twin Flames, and it can be very helpful on the journey, but again, it is a personal preference for sure. I will include links below in the description box to Twin Flame readers who use this deck in their video, so you can see more of the cards, especially to see a more objective view, their meanings, and what the different combinations could be. Now, I don't really feel like this deck maybe has different combinations, but you know, it definitely could give you some examples of different meanings, what they're actually seeing in the picture, more so than what's just in the guidebook, and what lessons maybe that you need to learn or things that you need to work on and heal from. If you would like to see more of my video reviews with my other decks from my collection, please hit the subscribe button, as I have a lot of decks and I want to share with you the ones I like and the ones I don't. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope this helped you decide if this deck resonates with you or not. If so, I included a link to where it can be purchased at as well. Until the next deck, happy shuffling!